The staff here they've been training for several days, all in an effort to really make this year a really impactful year for our students. We've looked at our recipes, our menus, revamping those, doing a lot of experimenting with different spices, herbs, in order to enhance flavor. We're relaunching a flavor station where students will be able to add additional spices and seasonings to their foods. We're introducing a new inventory management system and point of sale system. We're looking to totally revamp the look of the serving area for high school students, and this is a project that will be phased in over the next few years. They will have steam table areas, and then they'll also have warming areas, so that you'll have things like fries or chicken nuggets or breaded items that can remain crisp because they're not under steam constantly. Many of our students, and even us as adults, we eat with our eyes, and so we want to make sure that the food looks good when it's presented and that the staff has the necessary resources and training in order to do that.
So when we put our recipes together, we really want all the kitchens to follow that recipe so that all the items are going to look the same. Everything will be uniform, everything will taste the same, so that the students in the schools are all across eating the same exact meals. We're also going to start to test a lot of our recipes and take pictures of them to give to the schools for the staff, so they know this is exactly what this recipe is supposed to look like.
Our staff, they feel as if they are a part of the district as a whole and understand their role. It's not just to just be here to serve food, but to make sure that we're supporting the teaching and learning efforts.
I will be right back with more tea.
This all came about as a result of a really generous grant from the State Department of Education in conjunction with Clemson University and the Farm to School program. And it provided us with some materials to create raised beds. And back in the spring, all students in the school helped to build the raised beds. We planted the sweet potatoes right at the end of the school year. And over the summer, they pretty much lived on their own, doing a great job. And they were ready for harvest when we came back.
We harvested about 40 pounds of sweet potatoes, which should be enough for each of the students to sample. They love it. They come to life, you know. They get to be out of the classroom and doing a fun hands-on activity. No paper, pencil, or books, just a peeler, potatoes, and a scrap mat.
Some more sweet potatoes. Thank you, Chef.
We're actually showing the students how you go from farming to table. So we're showing the process of how to prepare the potatoes, how to cook them, and how, what's the nutrient value of them, and how it's so important to have such a variety of nutrients in your diet. We show them how we chop it. We don't actually let them chop it because they're kind of young, but we also show them the process so they can see it go from the ground to preparing to the oven. Okay, there you go. It's just those key things when students see food items, they know where it came from and the history behind food. It just gives them that much more awareness about what they're eating.
The concept of working through this and seeing the result of their labor is pretty wonderful. When you grow a plant, it tastes different than when you buy it at the store.
Get iPads out and then we'll start, okay?
This is just something we started last year, and I found out it kept the kids engaged. They loved it. So they come in and they are basically doing it on their own, and I just walk around and observe. It was wonderful receiving the money because I can put that money directly into kits. In fact, I've already ordered them and I've got about 11 more kits coming. It gives the students a variety of robots that they can build and code, and so I like to give them choices in it, and so that way it affords me that I can have more robots available.
First, we just started with building an obstacle avoiding robot as a class, and then we got iPads, and then we started to build our own robot that we all chose. The robot can, change colors in its mouth, make noises. It can move forwards, backwards. It can spin. It can turn right or left. Building the robot and learning how to code new things is really fun for me.
I'm with my partner, Alma. What we're doing is we're building ourselves a dragon to code. I'm the builder, she's the programmer, so right now we're just about done with it. I got one more leg to do for the dragon. I'm gonna put it all together, and she's gonna get the tablet, program it. I like building things ever since I was little. I like, stacking the blocks, that sort of thing. When it all comes together, you just feel so accomplished about it. And especially when your partner programs it and see it move, just feel really great.
Our unicorn can do a lot of things. It can move in every direction, and it can light up its horn, and it can spin, and it can do dances, and it can make noises. I've always done a bunch of coding and stuff. I guess I really like it.
Well, I look forward to this class every day, and I keep learning with the students, so it's become one of my favorite subjects.
He's making noises now.
Today we brought this STEM bus here from the Alabama Institute for the Deaf and Blind in partnership with Beginnings, South Carolina. So today we are doing cybersecurity training where we are taking apart PCs and putting them back together. They're going to learn cipher rings and encryption. They're also going to be working with building some different electrical circuits with lights and fans. And then in the afternoon, we're going to do drones as an activity. So we have a team here with us today that are successful in their related fields of robotics and engineering. And for them to be able to see that is very critical. We have to show people that deaf can do anything. So for them to be able to see the success of deaf adults impacts them in their dreams of what they plan for their futures, and may motivate them to go into one of these fields.
We really enjoyed all the work that we did. It looks cool, but it was a lot. You know, it was a lot different than what I thought it was gonna look like. You know, the computers that I have at home are different. I really enjoyed it. I was really, I like learning new things, so I was excited.
Our programming at Beginnings is helping kids find belonging. And when you have a kid maybe who's been interested in computers and has wondered what's inside, but again, hasn't been able to have conversations with people about what is a hard drive? Why is it called a hard drive? You can watch them be inspired. That's what I like. Hashtag Team 1 Team.
We came over to Hayward Career and Technology Center to gear some of the students up for the South Carolina Junior Chef Competition this year. For the competition, we have to use the ingredients and things that are freshly grown, locally grown, as well as using some USDA products. And what we're doing is we're just trying to give them a basis of how to plate, how to mix different textures, and mix different flavors. So you let it sit for a little bit, and you see like you got a couple of them in there that's nice and crispy like that.
It is exciting to see them in action at the various stations, preparing a meal. You see some great technique, students working together, and it's very exciting to see. We've got some budding culinary specialists in the making.
This is some good broccoli, cooked broccoli.
Me and my two best friends, Carl and Mia, got onto the culinary arts level 2, and we all were kind of like, I think we can do this. I think we could beat the competition. I think we could win. And once I get in the kitchen and once I get there with my friends and we're laughing and we're making things and I'm stealing pieces of chicken and eating them in between our plating, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of laughter, a lot of smiling.
I kind of knew that we cooked it right, especially even though we had some mishaps with the oven, we were still able to come up with something to make that chicken better and then also our broccoli better. I mean, being part of the culinary arts program is pretty fun. You get to go out to different places, different jobs will hire you, and then with us, we like to just have fun.
But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that same passion, we're gonna keep pushing, and we're gonna enter the competition, and we're gonna bring one home, right? All right, that's what we're gonna do.
Hi, my name is Elijah Green. I'm a school bus driver from Richland 1. I've been doing 37 years. I had most of these kids since elementary school. I know I do them at high school and middle school too. So basically I'm knowing all through their life, from the time they come from kindergarten to graduation. They'll talk to the bus driver before they talk to anybody else. You're the first person they see and last one they see. Good morning. You're a bus driver, you're a parent, you're a minister. I mean, you look at everything. I'm saying you all roll into one. Most times, you got to keep it straight. I mean, I have good kids. I don't have to do all that screaming and yelling. And then once you get to know a kid and how they react on a lot of stuff, then you can work with them on a one-on-one basis. That makes me feel good. If you do anything for a child, it makes you feel good. I mean, it's a fun job. You get to see different sports and different activities that the high school kids and middle school kids do. Then with the elementary kids, they go to like adventure and to the state museum, stuff like that. Stuff that you haven't really seen in a long time. You get to learn a lot. I mean, so if you like kids and working with kids, it's a job for you. I mean, I've been here like 37 years. I mean, so It don't need to go nowhere else now. I mean, I don't think no other district better than District 1.
I like being in the water. It's kind of peaceful for me, and when I jump in and there's like, I'm underwater, it's quiet, and I can just be in my own thoughts. And going to practice every day, I've practiced 2 hours a day, and I don't really have to talk to anybody. I can just do my own thing and work hard. When I was 3, I started swimming for a summer league team, and I still do that every summer. It's a good way to compete and just have fun. And then year-round, I started when I was 6, and that's a little more serious. You practice every day. It wasn't until I was about 12, and I decided I'm pretty good at swimming, let's stick to this. When I was in 7th grade was probably like my breakout year. For South Carolina, I won 3 state championships for the 11-12s. And then from there, I've kind of won most years, 13, 14s. And then starting with high school swimming, it was tough because in 7th grade, you're racing the big guys, who are seniors and juniors, so that was tough. And freshman, we got 2nd in one of my relays, which is pretty cool. And then starting sophomore year, I won the 100 breast. And then I've won the 100 breast and 50 free my senior and junior year. Something most people don't know about swimmers is how much you actually have to eat, because in an average practice, you probably burn around 1,100 to 1,500 calories. So throughout a day, I'll probably eat around 4,000 calories, which is kind of a task in its own. You have to be thinking about eating, and you have to eat right after practice, right before practice, as soon as you wake up, right before you go to bed, just to make sure you're getting enough calories, because I can lose weight very quickly if I don't eat enough. I balance my extracurricular and academic life by just using my time wisely when I have it. So if I'm in school and a teacher gives me 20 minutes to work on something, I try to get most of my homework done at school. I enjoy math. You can really see your work pay off. And a problem, like if you study and you understand the formulas, you can get through something pretty easily, and I like the reward that you get at the end of a problem. After graduation, I plan on attending the University of Missouri on a swimming scholarship, and I'm gonna major in nutrition and exercise science. After college, I wanna go to PT school, and with my major at the University of Missouri, it's a 5-year master's, so I'll be a registered nutritionist. And so with those two, I think I could have a pretty good career.
So today what we have is the PA students from the University of South Carolina, and they're interacting with our students. What we are attempting to do is to create an opportunity for our students to learn more about the PA program, but also develop an ongoing partnership. We're hoping that through this particular experience that our students are going to gain a different insight in terms of another career option.
95, that's good, that's really good. We work as a team, so you really need every profession on the healthcare floor, but the pro of being a physician assistant, you get to bounce around to different specialties. You get taught a general medicine education, so you get to know everything that we're doing here. So you're very flexible in which practice you go into, and if you change your mind, you can go to a different one. With this being PA Week, the whole point of Project Access is to make the PA profession more known to local communities. So for a lot of people that don't know even what a PA is, our sole purpose is to gain interest in students within our community, because who better to serve the community as a provider than the kids that grow up here?
I think being able to introduce our students to great programs right here in our community and giving them an advantage. And also inspiring them to be hopeful for the future. At Hayward, that's what we want to do, create opportunities for our students to dream big, but go as far as they can possibly go.
That's pretty good. Yeah. That's pretty good. That's awesome. Good job.
Let's tie this one out for you.
Today we have an organization, Samaritans Feet, here distributing tennis shoes, new tennis shoes and socks to all of our students. Dr. Tracy Cooper thought of our school as a place to have this opportunity, and then we went into the planning phase of making sure that this could happen.
Our whole mission is to inspire hope with shoes, right?
allowing a kid to interact with our volunteers, as you see behind us, have a conversation, ask them their favorite color, what they want to be when they grow up, favorite food, and that interaction alone is what's going to inspire hope in a kid.
Oh, I like doing that. And then in the back.
It's so fulfilling because, one, I get to provide shoes to families that need it, but I also get to work with great partners who have a heart for giving and caring for the community.
We've partnered with Samaritans Feet for several years now, and we appreciate the opportunity that they allow us to go into the schools and have our teammates come and volunteer and just inspire and encourage the students to be their very best every day.
I don't turn down anything or any opportunity for our families to receive things. Just seeing the joy that they have about receiving, what it feels like to receive, that also that they would want to share that experience with someone else. Anytime they're joyful, it just rings through all of us.
How was it?
So this is our special effects unit. We always do a stage makeup unit, and with that I always allow them to have like a hands-on experience. So today what we did was bites and cuts, and that just allowed them to actually, like, you know, what they see on TV, actually put it into application and in hands-on practice.
Then you're gonna take your finger and press it into the skin.
When I do special effects, they always think that actors is the only thing, that's the only job in theater, and I'm like, there's more to that, like a makeup artist. And I love that they're like, oh, I could do this too. And so that makes me just super excited. I love teaching it every year. And there's sometimes when the certain kids, when they get like really into it, and like I have some artists that come to my class, some of their looks after they finish makes me a little squeamish.
You're the one in town.
Honestly, it's the joy that kids have when they realize that they're able to do behind the scenes work. So it's good to see that they're like, oh, I'm good at something else except for just being an actor on stage. I'm good at making costumes. I'm good at doing special effects, good at designing a set. I love that they're able to experience that.
The Victory program is for SPED students who have already graduated without a college degree. They come to Victory and we teach them work-based learning skills. We teach them independent living skills. The teachers go and do a lot of other different programs and skills with them. So when they leave here, if they're on a job and they're working, that employer has the opportunity to take that student and make them a full-time employee. They have a job, so it's transitioning from school to work.
Hey, my name is Atia Williams, and I work here at Hyde Park doing food service in the kitchen. I was looking for a full-time employment with benefits and take my time with school as well.
Atia came to us last year. This was her first year here at Hayward Career and Technology Center in the Victory program. Outgoing, nervous student when she first came, but she was very ambitious. She was a student who had already been out in the work field. She knew how to work in certain entities in different restaurants, but she was very different. She always wanted to do more than what she was supposed to do. And so she took a lead role in the cafe. So she was a joy to work with, like I said, very ambitious, very knowledgeable, and it wasn't a hard learner at all.
With everything that I have faced, I continue to be strong and be happy in life. The Victory program is beneficial if you use the tools that are taught for your future. I keep my head up high and stay focused. I'm thankful the program has helped me.
The Language Immersion program, it's a program that started in Carver Lyon 6 years ago. So our students have been learning Spanish and Chinese, and they learn in content areas. So they learn math and science in these foreign languages. Students actually acquire a higher level of proficiency, and that's demonstrated in our STAMP test that measures proficiency levels. So when you compare world languages classes to language immersion, there's a big difference. So right now, our first generation here at hand, it's in 6th grade, and they get 90 minutes of the content language, and then after school classes too, where they have more opportunities to get that proficiency level that we're looking for.
Hola, mi nombre es Jamaria Napper y estoy en la Language Immersion Program de Him Middle School.
In first grade, it was more of colors and numbers, just like the basic easy stuff. But now that I'm in 6th grade, it's much more advanced stuff than it was at Carver-Lyon. It's been really cool and very fun to be able to learn another language and be very bilingual in that language.
Because I'm a second language learner myself, I can relate to the experiences the students have. And when they feel frustrated, I have those conversations with them, and I try to keep them encouraged and tell them that this is a normal thing. You have to keep trying, because this is a process and it will take time. And if you know it's a process and you do a little better than you did yesterday, you're in the right path and you'll get there.
Challenger Learning Centers exist in this country and around the world. There's about 40 centers. Every center gets to specialize based on their community. We are focused on the aerospace industry in South Carolina. When ours was built back in 1996, we were the only one that had our very own building. So when kids come to us, everything we try to make spacey. You know, we've got pictures everywhere. We've had some wonderful donations. So we have real space shuttle tires. We have tiles that came from the space shuttle. We have the model helmet that was on display at Kennedy Space Center. You know, we have some images that are from the 60s when the Apollo missions were going on. So kids can see all of this stuff. So everywhere you go, we try to constantly add new stuff and change it up so people are completely immersed. All Richland One schools can come to us during the school year for free. And we have activities that we can take out to the schools as well.
Welcome to the space station. Come on in. Come on in. What's poppin'?
What we do is so much fun because a lot of times kids have heard about things, read about things, but not actually had a chance to do those things. And so when they come here, they get to be in space station. They get to role play being an astronaut. They get to do hands-on experiments. They get to get readings. They get to communicate with their friends over in mission control. And the kids get so excited when they get to do these things. And I can't count how many times as kids leave our building, they're like, this is the best field trip ever. For every activity that we do, we tell the students what kind of careers are available if they're interested in the kind of science that we're doing in the particular activity. We make an effort for every activity to have a hands-on component, so students aren't just listening about science or reading about science, they're actually doing science, they're doing experiments, they're getting to actually do the kinds of things that scientists and engineers get to do. They love what they do here, they get to do it, they talk about it. We have adults come back and say, oh, I remember when we did this. It gets them excited about science and they see that it's more than just what's in a book and that they can have those kinds of jobs and they can do those things when they grow up. And it's really great to be a part of that.
Some of my favorite classes are probably POE and PLTW, which are my engineering-based and STEM-based classes, because last semester I took a civil engineering and architecture class, and I really enjoyed that because that was a passion I've had for a while. My passion developed around the age of like 5 or 6, and I used to play with Legos because I was a really creative child. So from there I joined 4-H robotics, and I also joined Girl Scouts, so I learned more about that and I grew to love it. I really enjoy the freedom and creativity that I can express through STEM, so that's probably why I like it so much. I feel like my extracurricular activities and my schoolwork all interlock because it's all things that I work on and all things that are kind of in the same category. Some of the after-school activities I'm involved in is mock trial, Odyssey of the Mind, FFA, soccer, student council, international language club, and that's just a few of them. I started Girl Scouts around the age of 5 and I really enjoyed it, and I made a lot of friends and developed a lot of friendships and relationships through that. So I continue to stay in it through daisies, brownies, cadets, and seniors. So right now I'm a senior at the grade of 10th grade. For the STEM conference, I was chosen 1 out of 5 students to be part of a panel to share our educational experiences in the U.S. Department of Education through that whole board. So we were sharing our experience with several teachers. I just really shared my love for STEM and shared my passion and how we can all relate back to STEM and all belong in STEM. I'm not exactly sure where I want to go to college. There's several different options out there, several different great engineering programs. So it's really just when the time comes and when I do get to decide which college I want to go to, it's really what my heart would be best with. There's several different paths of engineering, so I know I want to do something in that field, but right now it's probably a civil engineer or in that avenue of engineering, but that could change over time. There's a lot of different parts of STEM that you can always just try out and see if you like it, because worst case scenario, you don't, you can move on. But if you do end up liking it, it can take you so far and introduce you to so many things in life.
Well, this started as a brainstorming idea that I actually had with my principal, Sean Hall. We were trying to come up with something that we could do that was hands-on with our kids who needed something other than straightforward academics. So we brainstormed different projects, hands-on projects, and we came up with the coffee carts for the 4th and 5th graders. We try to start around 7:30, and the kids come in, they have different jobs. I prep them, it's ongoing teaching.
My daughter. All right. Thank you so much. Have a good day. You too.
I was with Miss Moss one day, and then she asked me that I want to do a business called the coffee cart, and I said yes. My favorite part is doing the orders and collecting the money. I have a good time doing it with my friends because we're so close to where we have so much fun together.
They're also learning those interpersonal skills when they have to relate to the adults in the building, learning manners, learning how to the give and take. We have gotten some great feedback from the teachers. They love it. They ask, are we doing the coffee cart? And it's been a real fun community project. The kids have had more ownership. They have a space now that they can actually move in, and it feels more like a regular coffee shop. I'm able to let them have their independence more. I'm just glad that we're able to do this and hope we can continue with different projects like this, because children need hands-on learning and we've got to get them out of their desk.
This is a full function motion simulator. It has built-in scenarios, and I also have the capability of creating scenarios. Gives them real life experiences, basic skills control, pre-trip inspection, and also behind the wheel. Allows them the opportunity to adjust, being able to control and just do the various things you need to do behind the wheel.
It was fun, but scary too. I didn't want to break it. I was like, so how do I do this? And like I'd see either on social media people talking about like the process that it take and all this, and I'm like, oh, that kind of seems a little bit difficult. But now that I'm here, it's not hard at all. Back, I want to say like last year or so, I was looking for a job, and all I would see on like the Indeed apps and all that is like, oh, CDL this, CDL that. And I was like, I might do like forklift and all that stuff. You need a CDL to do that. So I was like, I might as well just take it if I get the chance.
CDL level 1, we work on the foundation. We work on basically understanding the history. We work on laws, rules, and regulations. We work on just getting familiar with different terminology, systems and parts. It gives them a leg up on today's experiences of driving trucks. College level and technical level, they're using the equipment that we are now able to use at a high school level. That goes further on their resume, such as the certifications that they are also equipped with. Our students are getting top quality education, they're getting good knowledge, they're getting good skills. They have a fast start to an early success in the career as of 18 years old. This is a great tool that we're able to provide, and product that we're able to provide that will give them a chance to be successful.
As a part of our Richland One Voorhees Partnership, Voorhees Honors College students are here today for a read-in with Hyatt Park students that are in the implementing grade levels for AVID, which is 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. AVID stands for Advancement via Individual Determination, and so we focus on those best practices in writing, inquiry, collaboration, organization, and reading. We thought that this would be a great part of the partnership where we have our Voorhees scholars come in to read with students, ask higher level questions, and they complete it with a writing project. So it's about making sure our students are successful and have opportunities to experience success. And as far as the partnership, once again, it's about making sure we bring the community in and connecting our students with the community so they can see things from a different perspective and the world around them.
Okay, you guys remember I told you guys gotta be attentive?
I like to see when people can take individual talent and come together to make one group thing work together, because we know that's how the work goes. You wash my hand, I wash your hand, and when they come together and just make one thing into a beautiful thing, it's just nice to see, especially as kids. As we know, we need to make the world into what we need to see. So if I can show the kids that there are people like me out there, they might be aspired to be someone like me, and hopefully this can continue to go on where these kids actually grow up to be like me and go out and help other kids.
Hi, I'm Crystal Green. I'm a school social worker for Richland 1. I knew from a very young age that I was called to work with young people. I love Richland 1 because this is where I got my start. You know, I was an intern, completed my field practicum here, and it's where I learned about what social work is. I love helping people, learning about them, working with people, and helping them overcome challenges that they may face day to day. Teaching them those emotion regulation skills to help them be successful, not just in the classroom, but at home and in the community as well. All it takes is one caring adult to make a positive impact in the life of a child. And that's what keeps me motivated, because their success, I just want to be a part of that. All of my teams at my schools, we're a cohesive team. And our focus is on doing whatever is necessary to make sure that our children are safe, are protected, and that we do what we need to ensure that they reach their potential. You might be the answer, or you are the answer, or in solution to a problem, and someone is waiting for you. So I encourage that person who might be interested to apply and come and join our team.
So we're out here celebrating Augusta Baker's Dozen. This is the 37th year that Richland Library has partnered with Richland 1 to have this amazing event for 4th graders where they get to experience traditional storytelling. So we have about 40 storytellers out here telling the kids folk tales, fairy tales, all the good old stories. And the kids are out enjoying the beautiful grounds at Historic Columbia. So it's actually held in honor of Augusta Baker. She was a very well-known librarian who worked at the New York Public Library, and we were lucky enough to have her move here to Columbia in retirement, and she became the storyteller in residence at the University of South Carolina. And this event was created and continues to this day in her honor to remember her legacy as both a very influential librarian and a gifted storyteller.
Well, I'm going to share with you a piece of West African culture.
My name is Christopher Fleming, and today I am a storyteller. I'm excited to share the joy of literacy to the youngsters that's going to come today and do it without books. It's going to come straightly from the memory. I'm going to spit the story to them in an animated way and hopefully help plant seeds to bring about lifelong love of learning and literacy to these children today. Man, I believe that this is a beautiful event and, you know, shows the importance that literacy is for our county, and I'm glad to be a part of Augusta Baker's legacy. Long live the story. Long live the story.
This is the second year of our Superintendent's Book Club Challenge. Our challenge was 750,000 books this year, and our students met and exceeded that goal. And my promise to the students, if they read that many books or exceeded that goal, I would go in a dunk tank. And I have been dunked multiple times today, all for the good cause of literacy and reading. So I was taped to the wall last year over at Greenview, and we like coming up with these challenges and goals for our young people to support literacy. Encouraging our young people to read and continue to do that, develop that love of reading, that curiosity, that inquisitive nature, and anything that I can do and we can do in the district to support that, even if it includes going in a dunk tank, we're gonna do that. But I'm proud of our students in Richland 1.